Let's rank the best Ninjago dragons. This list won't include the Ninjago movie. In the 10th place, I will put in the Golden Ultra Dragon. This play feature here is very impressive, but the build is not my favorite. I like the 4 heads a lot, but I've never been one for these Ultra Dragons. And the only reason this one is here is because, well, at least this one tries to be pleasing to the eye. In the 9th place, the Jungle Dragon. This is controversial, but the reason I put it here is the personality. It looks like my dog. It's like 1-to-1. This thing has its tongue out, that thing has its tongue out. Other than looking like my dog, it looks like a dead lizard. I hate lizards. Good dragon. In the 8th place, the Ninjago Mechs dragon from the rebooted wave. This one is here because it was really creative for its time. The wings here are lacking, but that head is gorgeous. I like the little bits of interior in here too, and this one is honestly a pretty good dragon and was ahead of its time. It's pretty good all around, and if I weren't counting the time gap between this and some of the other dragons we will look at, this could have been beaten by the previous dragons. Nonetheless, it's deserving of being on this list. In the 7th place, the Ice Dragon from the core 2023 wave. I enjoy this dragon and I like the color scheme, but I think that it is too much. White is generally a very bland color, and there aren't many accent colors here either. I like the 6 legs, but 4 legs work a lot better. 6 legs were just not asked for. It's good and deserving of this spot. However, in the 6th spot, we will be getting very controversial. If you thought the last one was controversial, oh boy. In this spot, Firstborn. When this dragon first came out, it was perhaps my favorite dragon for a long time. Problem, however, is that the legs are very lacking. They are very angular and I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I love the head here, that is good, but over time, this set has definitely lost its charm. In the 5th spot, the Moro Dragon from the Possession wave. This dragon is said to be revolutionary, and I really don't know why. It's a good dragon, and I think it deserves this spot a lot. I like the green and the wings are awesome, and the head is objectively great too. But everything here, while being objectively great, me being not the biggest fan either, is overrated. It's great, but it's overrated. If you think this deserves top 3, more power to you, but anything higher than the 3rd place, you are delusional, I'm sorry. 4th spot, the Lloyd's Legendary Dragon from the core 2022 wave. Bro's queso, but a dragon. Either way, this guy is really awesome looking, and the wings are all great as well. It's a cool Lloyd dragon, and I couldn't ask for more in a Lloyd dragon. These molded heads generally don't work for me, but here I think it works great. 3rd spot, the Skull Sorcerer's Dragon. This one was seen as the best Ninjago dragon for a long time, but for me it's number 3. The green highlights here are awesome and the brick-built head works in the set's favor. The play features are the highlights here, however. The black wings are great and the brick-built heads continue to sweep through. 2nd spot, the Lightning Dragon. This specimen here is a certified banger. I won't count the weird J glider thing in the set, so we are only seeing the base form here. This looks more like a T-Rex than a dragon, and that is so cool to me. Lego's done that before, but not one on this type of a scale. Those lightning elements are great for this dragon, and this is a dragon I still want to pick up. The head here is fantastic, and it represents the element of lightning. Great. But in the first spot, by no surprise whatsoever, is the biggest Ninjago dragon, and probably the best Ninjago dragon for most people. The Source Dragon of Motion. This guy is perfection. The amount of posability is insane. The wingspan here is so huge. This boy is huge in all ways imaginable. The climber hooks used here are great too, and they perfectly resemble horns. The head, while I'm not the biggest fan of molded heads, here it works perfectly because they bring in the molded heads with all of the brick elements as well. So it just blends in great. The color scheme, it's a Kai dragon. They call it the Source Dragon of Motion, but you're paying for a fire dragon. For fire dragon, this is fantastic. The saddle is just humongous. The Wolf Clan symbols here are perfect as well. I will count that as the dragon here. And this is by far the greatest dragon Ninjago will see for a while, honestly. 10 out of 10 dragon, absolute banger. And this dragon is evil as well. Speaking of which, let's rank the best Ninjago mechs. This list won't include the Ninjago movie. In the 10th place, I want to put in the Lloyd's and Aaron's Ninja Team mechs. The posability here is amazing, and Aaron's mech is awesome. The problem, however, is that the colors just do not work. Bright orange with dark green is just flat out bad. In its complete form, it looks like a mess of a lot of colors. But in its separated form, the Aaron mech looks good, and so does the Lloyd mech. Next in the 9th spot, taking a huge step up in quality, the Firestone mech from the season 13 wave. This guy is so cool. I love this color scheme so much. The only reason this one is down here is because I need knees in a mech. The stability and posability on this model are easily the worst from any of the big Ninjago mechs. The color scheme, design, and concept, however, elevate this. Taking the 8th spot, the Ninja Team Combo Mech. This thing is here because of its scale and its compatibility with the vehicles. Other than that, there's not much to like here. The colors are off the charts, and so is the posability. I mean, there's one ninja in the knee and one in the arm. I mean, really? They couldn't even put them all in the torso or something? Taking the 6th spot, and from here, I think that every mech has an argument for being first, Lloyd's Titan mech. Give me a minute here. Let me explain myself as to why this is down here. This design here is awesome. It's off the charts in the best way possible. It can even get 2nd place if I was talking about design, but the stability here won't work over time. And I value stability and innovation over mech presentation any day of the week. Remember that for later, you all. With that being said, this is great, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is close to the top 3 for many. Taking the 5th spot, Nia's Samurai X mech from Crystallized Wave. This thing is easily the biggest Ninjago mech we've gone up until now. I know there's a certain other mech, but in my opinion, that one is not as bulky as this one. So this one still manages to beat that one in my opinion. That being said, I love the colors and that Red X is spectacular. This thing has knees, and on such a big scale, articulation is really important, and so is stability. The colors do feel a bit mismatched, that's why it is at 5th place, but I can see an argument for this being like at first, even for most people. Taking the 4th spot, Zane's Titan Mech. This guy is awesome and was the first mech to introduce knees. I absolutely love this mech, and this is revolutionary. And the top 2 spots are also revolutionary. This one gets beaten out though because of the colors. The weird gold bit on the abdomen is really what brings this down. And it's really weird too because there isn't much gold present anywhere else on the model, and it just feels like it's out of place. This is still awesome, and I can again see a good argument for this being 1st or even 2nd place. Taking the 3rd spot, Jay's Titan Mech. This is Zane's Titan Mech, but in my opinion, a bit better. It speaks Evangelion, and that I absolutely love. The bazookas and swords are oversized and in my opinion, very cool looking. This guy is awesome. It also brings back the torso design, and the torso design I failed to mention, but I really like in the Zane set too. So Jay set works awesome here as well. Taking the 2nd spot, hear me out guys. Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute to explain myself. Kai's Ninja Climber Mech. Okay, stop the shouting. Just give me a minute to explain myself. I get it. It doesn't have elbows. It is nowhere near the biggest Ninjago mech either. But as I said before, while talking about the Lloyd's Titan mech, I value innovation, which means stability and articulation, over any other factors. This mech is the most stable mech in Ninjago. It can be held up by a thread and be stable with ease. It is one of the only 2 mechs to be able to stand on one leg. The mech that is the other mech that can stand on one leg is coming later. Ankle articulation is way better than knees. It gives every single knee pose you could ever hope for while being twice as stable. This mech would have been 10th place, but because of those ankles, there being no elbows is no biggie, and this mech is just awesome. It brings back the Evangelion vibes I was getting from the Jay's Titan mech and amplifies them a lot. I love the head here as well, and this is just awesome in my opinion. But in the 1st place, Cole's Titan Dragon Mech. Look, I'm sorry, it was never a competition. This win is like not even earned, because this mech is gonna win every single thing ever. 30 different points of articulation, more than that if you really want to get into the logistics, and an awesome big design. This mech is like the perfect mech ever. Now that did come with, no figures being in here, but does it really matter when this mech itself is the most posable thing ever? Stability wise too, this thing can stand on one leg, which is just insane in my opinion. But this mech, while I like it a lot, and I honestly love it, this thing deserves everything it's getting. It's won the Best Titan Mech Award, the Best Mech Award now, and the Best Set Award from its wave, the June 2024 wave. I guess this set has just always won. But you know who was robbed of 1st place in that video, the set wave video? The Source Dragon of Motion was robbed in that video. Speaking of which, you want to see the Source Dragon of Motion win something for once? Well then, check out my ranking of the best Ninjago dragons right here on the screen. Thanks for watching.